Hello, Branislav. Good to meet you again. This is our second meeting, and today we're going to talk about Autodesk licenses, which are now cloud licensing. What before it was network licensing, and that's what we're going to talk about. This show is available as a video, so you can see us talking, or as an audio that will also be available to listen as a podcast. So we're looking forward to get your feedback. So let's immediately dive into the topic. So, Branislav, maybe describe shortly what's the new Autodesk licensing.
Okay, so as you all know, Autodesk is very proudly moving to what they call a subscription name-based user license, which is very different from what they had in the past. Where in the beginning, the Autodesk products were sold like a box product where you purchased it and it was yours forever and you could use it for as long as you liked. And with the extra bonus, if you paid maintenance, you were also entitled to upgrades and you were entitled to support from Autodesk. This is changing completely. They are moving to a subscription-based licensing where the user can no longer be an owner of the Autodesk product. None of the products from their portfolio, you can never own them, and you need to pay a subscription. And for as long as you pay the subscription, you are entitled to all those things that I just said for the box edition. That you can use the software, you can upgrade to the latest version of the software, and you get support from Autodesk. I think, Oren, that's actually in a couple
Yeah,
sentences the best description that I can provide.
yeah, and this was implemented as a cloud license manager. So, based on the huge progress in the communications speed, everything, a lot of our system and computing system are moving to the cloud, and same the license manager. So currently we are just using a license manager located on the cloud. It's serving all Autodesk customers, and the interface is the vendor portal where I can log in and I can see what's my entitlements, how many seats do I have, and I can assign seats to users based on email address. So I just type the email address and assign the license, and this user can actually consume the license. So this sounds like ideal to me. What are the issues,
So of
if
course,
any?
of course, let's not pretend that they are that Autodesk is only doing it to make every user happy, because that's not the case. And even though we know these companies, they like to market everything is a positive change. It is a change, and there may be actually users who find it better and easier, especially as we also discussed last week in the smaller and maybe medium companies where the designers using the Autodesk products are more focused, and you can actually have the expectations that they are indeed working with the tool. It's easier for the license manager to manage it remotely because he can see everything, like you said, on the cloud portal. There is no requirement of a virtual private network, which maybe was not that of much of a concern in the past, where everybody was sitting in the office and were connected on the company network all the time. But now, with what we have lived through in the past 18 months with the corona and the more and more home office becoming the prevalent option, even for the designers, so you no longer require that connection to your company network, because all said, the license manager is basically located in the cloud. So if you have an internet connection, you are free to start the product, and you are free to work with the product. What becomes a problem, if you are asking about the issues, and there are issues, is that of course the cost is higher, because right now you need to actually, with the subscription model, you need to license every single user in your company. So it shouldn't be a problem when we are talking for the CAD designers. Like I said, there is a certain expectations that they work with the tool every day. But in many companies, specifically, for example, as AutoCAD is not just used to do design. It may be you can have a facility manager who is just using it to draw the layout of your new office. And this type of a person maybe launches AutoCAD once a week, maybe he does launch it only once per month, but you are paying the subscription for the whole period of the time. With the networks, with of course with the network licensing model, he could just start it, turn it off, and then another user could work with it. So there is this a definite disadvantage. Also, well, and then now I lost my train of thought, so I will leave it for you.
Okay, so let me go. Yes, basically compared to network licensing, the change in thinking is we the consumption the concept was that the software is like a machine, and if you're not using it, someone else can use it. That's what with network licensing. Here we definitely license the specific user, so each user is licensed and you never use it all the time. And yes, the price is significantly higher. And the problems are with managing users in subscription is quite the same regardless of what service is it. It might be development service, DevOps, um, or CAD or Autodesk licenses. So one thing that happened to us in our company is that we forget a user assigned to a license, and then a few months after we say, he already left. So we lose a lot of money because of that. Sometimes we assign someone, and he's not using the specific level of the product or the specific package that we assign, and we lose again. And yes, we have this problem of people that are not really using the software all the time. So occasional users that log in once a while, they need to correct the line here, line there, and maybe to only to view the license. The problem is that the system doesn't let you know that. You don't really know how many. You might know the last login, but you don't really know who is actually using it. So that's the main problem. And yes, Branislav, how do we support that? How do we help users?
And before I answer that, I remembered what I wanted to say. The biggest disadvantage is that with the subscription model, compared to the perpetual model, you need to keep paying if you want to keep using. With the perpetual, you had the one big advantage that if you were content with staying on the last version where you pay the maintenance, you could use that version forever. So this is completely disappearing, and it may become a problem. Of course, there is the option for the current perpetual owners to simply not trade the licenses and then take,
Yes.
so to speak, take the bullet and remain on the same version.
Yeah, I
And
spoke with companies that are doing that.
yep.
They're saying we are fine with this version for a few years. We did the math. It's worthwhile for us to keep using it
Yeah.
and not move to subscription. Yeah.
And one more point before we talk about how OpenLM is actually helping with managing the Autodesk licenses, even with the named user model, is that what Autodesk also starts offering with this subscription model is that you can get product bundles. You no longer need to get a single application like
Yeah.
AutoCAD, and they are focusing on mechanical or electrical design or media design, which is Adobe is doing the same thing. And there is one more intricacy for the license manager when he's purchasing the bundled product, and that is actually making sure that if I assign a bundled license of 5 different applications to a single person, I would like to know if the person is actually utilizing all of them, or maybe it's a better option for me because the bundle is expensive, but it's never as expensive as purchasing all the different projects individually. So there are cases where it's the better solution. And how OpenLM helps? Well, let me put it this way. Autodesk does offer you a certain level of monitoring, but is by no means as deep as OpenLM does. And even though it no longer exists on the network license model, we can work on getting the entitlements. And through our agent solution or through our planned extension solution, we can actually monitor the individual application and give you the deep dive utilization that you are not getting from the cloud portal, where you can actually see how long is the user working with the product, And B, with the agent, you can also see the idle time. So maybe he is leaving the application open, which is tricking you into believing that he's been worked with, but it's just running somewhere on the back end. And then again, if you are at the end of the year, you are at the end of the subscription period, and you are trying to make the decision. So how many licenses do I need for the next renewal, for the next subscription period? OpenLM can still give you a lot more details in making and helping you make the informed decision.
Right, right. So yes, basically, as Branislav explained, we provide everything that we did before. So we connect to the portal, we read the entitlement, we see who is assigned, and you can see that within OpenLM. That's one thing, and it's important you see it with all your other software inventory. The second is we using the capability we have, basically OpenLM agent, we can give you actually actual usage. So if there was a session of 10 hours, what did the user actually, what part of the time was the software actually active? And sometimes people ask me, so what can I do if he's using it once a month or twice a month? What can I do? He needs it. So there are options. So if need to check what what does the user do with the software. So if he's only watching programs, plans that other people created, there are viewers. So you can install a viewer and let the person view the plans as much as they want. It's much cheaper, and there is a very um, a, a, a large range of software available to do that. Um, Another option is to create some kind of a kiosk workstation. So you can go there, do something, small modification. So that's another option. And probably there are other things that maybe other people can think of. So there is, if you want to do something, there are definitely options to do that. Yeah. Anything else you would
I
like
would
to
I would like to just add, that the people sometimes fall into the trap of thinking that there is a completely artificial intelligence automated solution that does everything for them. That's not the case, at least not yet. Even though we would like to be there, maybe one day. But
add?
the job of the license manager is very important, and what OpenLM brings into the equation is helping him identify and analyze what is happening. And of course, you need to have the input on the other hand coming from the business, like you just said. What is the business case? Does the user really need to start the program twice a year, and I need to pay a full year for him? Is there a business case? Is there a valid business case? Maybe there is, and you just need to, like you said, take the bullet and pay the money. But a lot of the times there are alternatives. There are cheaper, maybe even free alternatives, where you can save a substantial amount of money. And especially once your organization is growing, Autodesk products are not cheap. So you really want to make
Yeah.
sure that you are utilizing them in an efficient way.
Yeah, definitely. Autodesk products are very good products, but some users manage to use it more efficiently. So thank you very much for
Thank you.
listening today. Thank you, Branislav.
Thank you,
And
Oren.
I invite you to give us feedback and what would like to hear. And also, if anybody of you would like to talk with me, I'm looking forward. Just send me an email, and we'll definitely set it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Oren.
Thank you, Branislav.